Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Breaking the Barriers. So today I am present with another video, and this video is on chapter Landscape of the Soul. It's a quite complicated chapter and it is there in your CBSE class 11th literature syllabus. So we'll start with the explanation. But before I start with the explanation, I would like to tell you that if you would like to see more such videos on various literature, grammar, and writing section topics of CBSE, then you can click on the I button which is coming on the top right corner of the screen. And clicking on the I button, you will go to my playlist where you can find other videos on various topics of grammar, literature, writing section of CBSE. I also suggest you to please subscribe my channel and hit the like button if you like the video. Follow the cursor. So first I'm starting with the introduction to the lesson, written by Natalie Trovroy. The author, the chapter is about how different the Chinese art form is from the European art form. We are talking about two art forms here, the Chinese art form and the European art form. The writer uses two stories to make a contrast, and both these art forms are in contrast to each other. Contrast matlab completely different to each other. European art is about reproducing an actual view, whereas the Chinese art is about not creating a real landscape. European art produces the actual view of the thing, and Chinese art is based on spiritual concept, not real landscape. European art is an artist's ways to let viewers show how exactly he wants them to see the landscape. Like European art shows you exactly what you want to see. But Chinese art is the artist's spiritual and inner voice, where you can travel from any point and let its viewer create a path of his imagination. So European art shows you what you want to see. Chinese art is a spiritual art, inner voice. It does not show you where to start or what you want to see. It wants you to create your own path to view at the painting or the art. Okay, theme. The writer contrasts Chinese art with European art by recounting two stories about Chinese art and one story of European art. The Europeans want a perfect likeness, मतलब it should look exactly like the real thing. अगर मैं इस मोबाइल का स्केच बनाऊंगा तो यूरोपियन आर्ट के अकॉर्डिंग वो स्केच बिल्कुल एक रियल मोबाइल की तरह लगना चाहिए, ठीक है. Whereas in Asia, the art is the essence of life and spirit. Chinese art requires active participation of the viewer both physically as well as mentally. But Chinese art में क्या होता है, जब आप Chinese art को समझते हैं तो आपको एक्टिवली उसको समझना पड़ेगा, फिजिकली भी समझना पड़ेगा, मेंटली भी समझना पड़ेगा. Chinese painter does not want you to borrow his eyes. वो ये नहीं चाहता आप उसके नजरिए से देखो. Chinese painter wants you to see the painting through your own eyes with your own understanding. Try to enter the painting with your own mind and try to understand the spiritual concept of the painting. This is what the Chinese painter wants. About the characters, एक character है इसमें Wu Daozi. The 8th century Chinese landscape painter disappeared inside his last painting. Yes, कुछ magical हुआ है यहाँ पे. Second, Emperor Zhuangzong. He admired Daozi's painting but was not an active participant in it. इन्होंने ही वू डाउजी से पेंटिंग बनवाई थी, जिस पेंटिंग में वू डाउजी गायब हो गया था. थर्ड, क्विंटिन मेटिसिस. ये यूरोपियन पेंटिंग वाला है. He was a 15th century Belgian blacksmith who changed his profession to become a delicate realist painter and marry the woman he loved. ये वर्ड मीनिंग्स है इस चैप्टर की. Two slides are there which contain the word meaning. This is the first slide and then after this I have the second slide. I want you all to pause the video and note these word meanings so that it will help you to understand the chapter and the difficult words when you are reading the chapter. I want you to watch this video and after that go and take your NCERT book and start reading the chapter. Okay? When you are reading the chapter, these definitions will help you. So you can note them down. This is the second. It contains total 36 word meanings in 2 slides. Please like and subscribe my video. Explanation. Now I have divided the explanation into some parts, some important parts, and accordingly I will explain. First important part is comparison between the European and the Chinese art. This chapter is a comparative study of European and Chinese painting. It touches upon various subtleties of reality and art. Art is one of the forms of expression, like poetry is an art, music is an art, dance is an art. All these forms of expressions have an abstract nature as they can't be defined and have to be felt or experienced. We cannot define dance, we have to see it, experience it. We cannot define painting, we have to see it or experience. The chapter has three important areas of discussion. Anecdotes. Anecdotes का मतलब होता है short stories about a person or related to a person. Anecdotes related to the Chinese and European paintings. Taoism. ये Taoism क्या है ये मैं आगे समझाऊंगा. How one of the philosophical doctrines of Taoism called Shan Shui is reflected in the Chinese painting. तो ये comparison की बात होगी. Next, anecdote about Chinese painter Wu Daozi. Wu Daozi, who disappeared in his own painting. What happened? Let's see. The 8th century Chinese emperor Zhuangzong commissioned a painter named Wu Daozi to paint a landscape. ठीक है. तो एम्परर ने पेंटर से बोला कि एक लैंडस्केप बना के दो हमको उनकी पैलेस वॉल पे डेकोरेट द पैलेस. When the painting was ready, the emperor was invited to appreciate it. He enjoyed looking at the forest, high mountains, waterfalls, clouds, men on hilly paths, birds in flight, etc., which were drawn in the painting. But the painter was not satisfied and he invited the attention of the emperor towards the cave of the painting. And this cave was there in the foothill. A mountain was there in the painting, a mountain was drawn, and on the foothill of the mountain, this cave was. Now, emperor saw the painting, but the painter was not satisfied. He wanted the emperor to see the painting from the inner self or spiritual self, according to the Chinese art concept. So the painter stepped towards the cave, inside which the painter said resided a spirit. So the painter said, "Sir, inside this cave there is a spirit." The painter clapped his hands, causing the entrance of the cave to open. Then the painter said, "The inside is splendid beyond anything words can convey." Means the inside of the cave is so beautiful that it cannot be expressed in words. "Please let me show your majesty the way." The painter entered the cave and disappeared. The cave door closed and the painting disappeared from the wall before the emperor could move. पेंटर अपनी ही बनाई पेंटिंग में एक केव के अंदर एंटर करता है मैजिकली. जैसे ही वो एंटर करता है केव का डोर बंद होता है और पूरी पेंटिंग पेंटर के साथ वॉल से गायब हो जाती है. एम्परर कुछ कर पाता उससे पहले. ठीक है, मैजिकल स्टोरी. नेक्स्ट, एनेक्डोट अबाउट यूरोपियन पेंटर क्विंटिन मेसेस. यूरोपियन आर्ट के बारे में बात करते हैं. देयर वाज अ ब्लैक स्मिथ नेम्ड क्विंटिन मेसेस. ब्लैक स्मिथ लोहा जो लोहे का काम करते हैं. A 15th century Belgian blacksmith, Belgian means he belonged to Belgium, Quentin Medicis fell in love with a painter's daughter. Knowing that the father of the girl would not accept his profession because blacksmith was not a reputed profession, he secretly entered the painter's studio and painted such a realistic fly on the artist's panel. Panel means वो board या sheet जिसमें हम painting करते हैं. That the master tried to swat it before he realized that it was not real. Quentin was accepted by the master as an apprentice, means trainee, married his beloved, and soon became famous for his realism in painting. So he wanted to impress the father of the girl. So what he did was that वो उसकी गर्ल के फादर के जो पेंटिंग वाला रूम था वहां गया और एक खाली पैनल था उस पे उसने एक फ्लाई बनाई मक्खी. और जब लड़की के फादर वापस आए तो वो मक्खी इतनी रियल लग रही थी कि उन्होंने उसको उड़ाने की कोशिश करी. लेकिन जब वो नहीं उड़ा पाए तब उनको रियलाइज हुआ कि इट्स अ पेंटिंग एंड ही वाज रियली इम्प्रेस्ड बाय क्विंटिन्स आर्ट. Although Quentin has not got any formal education for arts, but still he did that. The father was really impressed and he took him as his trainee, also married his daughter to him, and later on Quentin became one of the most famous painters of that century. So this is the tale, European tale. Now, what is the meaning of these tales? Now you must be thinking, sir, these two tales are quite unusual. Now what do they mean? So meaning of such tales. Such stories as that of about Wu Daozi are very important in Chinese classical education. It was through such stories that great masters make abstract concepts concrete. Now these stories give some moral values, and the masters used to teach their disciples through these stories. Such tales reveal the art has an inner life, meaning, or soul. One only when one is able to see that inner life can one understand its true meaning. The emperor had appreciated the painting only from what he saw. He could not see the body of the painting, whereas the painter tried to show him the soul, the inner life, and the meaning of the painting. So, emperor was only able to see the body of the painting, whereas the painter would also tried him to show the inner self of the painting. He wanted the emperor to watch the painting with his mind, spiritual and inner concept, try to understand the painting on his own. This painting is not only a physical landscape, it is also a spiritual landscape. How it is a spiritual landscape, that will be disclosed with the concept of Taoism. I will teach you in the further part of the video. Whereas the painter tried to show him, this we have done. Similarly, Quentin Matisse's signified illusionistic likeness in European painting. Illusionistic likeness, illusion मतलब भ्रम और likeness मतलब similar दिखने वाला. जैसे fly उसने बनाई तो ऐसी fly बनाई कि वो एकदम real fly दिख रही थी. Illusionistic likeness. The same holds good for the story about the frightening likeness of the dragon to the real one, which prevented the Chinese painter from drawing its eye, and he felt that the dragon would see him and attack. एक और Chinese story है, anecdote है, where the Chinese painter drew a dragon, but he was not willing to draw the eye because he thought that if I will draw the eye of the dragon is so real that it will come out of the painting and it will attack me. Next, basis of Chinese painting. What do Chinese painting really mean? Chinese paintings are based on the philosophy of Taoism. What is this Taoism? Tao means the path or the way into the mystery of the universe. The emperor may rule over the territory, but the artist alone knows the way within. Life has no meaning unless we undertake the inner and spiritual journey. When Wu Daozi said, "Let me show you the way," he meant the way to the inner meaning of art or the mystery of the universe. This is the spirit of Chinese painting. They do not reproduce an actual view. Actual view क्या था? जो mountains थे, जो trees था, forest था, river था. But the Chinese painter does not want the emperor to understand the actual view. But he wants to use the real landscape to say something more. The Chinese painter therefore wants the viewer, means the emperor, to take plural viewpoints to enter into the painting and travel into it. The Chinese painter Wu Daozi wanted the emperor to enter the painting from above, from below, mountain से देखना शुरू करिए, forest से देखना शुरू करिए, river से देखना शुरू करिए. Find plural paths. He wants our active participation, not only physical but also mental. Do not just physically watch the painting, try to understand it mentally. His landscape is not a copy of the real landscape, it is a representation of the inner reality and the spiritual concept of the space. So now the next question is, what is Taoism? We'll understand this now. Okay, this is very important aspect of the chapter. Please pay attention. ध्यान से देखना. According to Taoism, this universe is composed of two complementary poles. Poles means both the other ends, one north, one south. And there are two poles which complement each other, means which are, one is not complete without the other one. That is yin and yang. Yin is the feminine and yang is the masculine. जैसे हमारी इंडियन थ्योरी के अकॉर्डिंग 5 एलिमेंट्स होते हैं ना, पंच तत्व जिनसे बॉडी बनी है, अग्नि, जल, वायु. उसी तरह चाइनीज थ्योरी के अकॉर्डिंग 2 एलिमेंट्स है, yin and yang. The interaction of these two energies makes the universe, and these two energies, when they interact with each other, universe is created. They meet at a third element, third point, which is the middle void, which also holds great significance, though it is often overlooked. So middle void is the third place where these two elements, yin and yang, meet. This can be compared with the yogic practice of pranayam. Breathe in, retain, breathe out. The retain part is the middle void where meditation occurs. The void is essential, nothing can happen without it. जब हम योगा का प्राणायाम करते हैं तो प्राणायाम में क्या होता है? Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. So we are saying that जो hold वाला point है, where you hold your breath, that is the void. That is the place when you have suspended all the activities, you are not even breathing. And that is the place where meditation occurs. That is the middle void. Okay. So अब इसका चाइनीज पेंटिंग से क्या लेना है? ये तो चलो एक थ्योरी हो गई, आगे देखते हैं. इन डाओइज्म अ लैंडस्केप इज कॉल्ड शैन शुई. अब आप इसको कनेक्ट करिए वू डाउजी की पेंटिंग से, इस चीज को कनेक्ट करिए. लैंडस्केप इज कॉल्ड शैन शुई मतलब माउंटेन वाटर. माउंटेन क्या है? यांग. और वाटर क्या है? यिन. However, it does not represent a real landscape. It is the Taoist view of the universe. To understand Chinese painting, one must understand Taoism. So the mountains and water in the Chinese painting are shan shui, and the unpainted space is the middle void. जो लैंडस्केप में वू डाउजी ने माउंटेन्स और रिवर्स बनाई थी, वो माउंटेन्स यांग है और रिवर्स यिन है. माउंटेन वाटर शैन शुई. और उस पेंटिंग में देयर वाज एन एम्प्टी स्पेस, कुछ जगह खाली छोड़ी थी. दैट इज द मिडल वॉइड. Void where you suspend all the activities. That is why Wu Daozi has left some empty space so that the emperor could look at that empty space and meditate on the painting. That was the concept. Where middle void, where interaction takes place between yin and yang. That is where you have to look at, and that is where you have to concentrate, meditate, and understand the inner and spiritual value of the Chinese painting or the Chinese art. Man is the medium of communication between the two complementary poles. Yin and yang को connect कौन करता है? Man connect करता है. We are the connecting bond of the universe, and you can see his presence in the Chinese painting also. उसने Chinese painting में बनाया था man walking on the hilly area. When you will read the NCERT book, you will see. Okay, so that's the connection between Taoist theory or Taoism and the Chinese landscape. And European का तो normal है, illusionistic likeness. These are some important points which will help you to understand chapter even better. Chinese paintings are abstract in nature as they can't be defined and have to be felt or experienced. In contrast, European paintings contain illusionistic likeness. Their contrasting nature is explained through anecdotes about the Chinese painter Wu Daozi and another painter who was not able to draw the eye of the dragon, thinking that the dragon will attack on him. Belgian painter Quentin Médicis, who painted realistic fly. Chinese paintings are based on the philosophy of Taoism, which says life has no meaning unless we undertake the inner or spiritual journey. Chinese painters wants the viewer's active participation, not only physical but also mental, while viewing these paintings. According to Taoism, the interaction of two complementary poles, yin feminine, yang masculine, makes the universe. Man is the medium of communication between the two poles. That is their meeting point, where these 2 points connect. You can see their presence in the Chinese painting also. Okay, so this brings us to the end. I hope you liked the video. If you understood the chapter, please hit the like button. All your doubts you can ask in the comment section. I will definitely answer your doubts in the comment section. Subscribe the channel, promote the channel, share the video. Bye for now. Happy learning.